Alright, so we've got the new Smith & Wesson 69 Combat Magnum. It's what people have been looking forward to for a bit. They decided to come out with it new for 2017. People are a little bit excited. We want to take this guy for a spin, maybe. Take a look at it firsthand. So, let's start off with a look at this guy. I have another video up. It's of this guy being half-faced, polished. That's because Smith & Wesson's right. They're supposed to be able to last you 100 years. You're supposed to be able to give this to your grandkids, right? So, you know, in 100 years, I will, maybe fully decide what I want to do then with it. For right now, I think it looks bitchin' hot. If you take it apart correctly, you can see you can get a perfect halfway up the gun polish on it. So anyway, other than that, this is your Smith & Wesson 69 Combat Magnum. It's an L frame. I realized I do have one other modified thing on this guy already. Kind of matches my other Smith & Wesson set here. And that's these Piranha grips by Hogue. They work really well. I'll get into my impressions of them and on how they felt with this sort of gun in a sec. But for right now, I just want to kind of show it's an L frame here compared to what we see here, which is an N frame and a J frame. These are a bigger frame, though it doesn't seem by much here. I'll put them back here to show you. I'll actually start flipping these guys to give you another profile look of them. But what you'll see is that they finally were able to get a 44 Magnum into an L frame. This hadn't been done before. Except for, actually, I should say, they did it with the 69 regular edition. But this is their first snubby of that size. So what we have here is something that looks a lot better looking than something with a little bit more barrel. They didn't put a full underlug on that other model. I don't know. They kind of kept it a little bit ugly, in my opinion. Some guys like that older look. As you can see with mine, I don't like anything to look older. I have no wood in my arsenal. But, I mean, here we have some of that really good looking G10 grips. These Piranha grips by Hogue. I wanted to bring out these guys as a source of comparison to what we're talking here, because I've watched videos where they bring out a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, and you see it and you're like, wow, yeah, I want one of those. And you show up to the gun shop and the thing's like this big, costs $1,800. Not what everyone's always looking for. You kind of want something a little bit more manageable. I'll kind of keep these guns moving a bit so you can kind of take an eye at how some of them are sized compared to each other. But let's get back to the 69 Smith & Wesson Combat Magnum. So again, it's their first 44 Magnum in an L frame. I've done a little bit of things to it. I've had a bunch of shooting that I've done with it, so I'll talk about that. I'll talk about how I switched the grips as well. But first, let's talk about the overall impressions. I've put about 200 rounds to the thing, which has been, in the first half of it, not too miserable, actually, with the rubber grips. With this later range sesh, where I took out, where I put on the rubber grips, and I put on these G10 grips instead. I noticed that this right-hand side here, because it comes out, I mean, it gives you a good grip and all, but it gets a little painful. I mean, even with the rubber stuff I had to replace. It ripped away on the inside of my hand right here. I mean, my delicate tech fucking nerd hands ripped it up for like 2 weeks. Just because I felt the rubber right there, just the recoil. I mean, I love to shoot the Desert Eagle and all, but even the recoil of this, I'm going to have to say this is my nastiest gun to shoot. And I love it. Oh my god, I'm going to, bring it out with the Desert Eagle and just like pound away at my hands all day. But this latest range day, what I noticed, this is coming out too much. I need to probably sand that down, which is what's great about these Hogue G10 grips. Anyway, in terms of accuracy, the thing was great. We have these great sights, as you can see. A little bit different than what you get on some of the other models here. And actually, for a second, we'll jump into what these guys are. This is a Smith & Wesson Performance Center. So actually, it has a tuned trigger. So a little bit lighter. This is also a special, kind of cool edition. It's called their Thunder Ranch. What's neat about it is it's in 45 ACP, and it takes moon clips. But you know, so what you'll see in the J frame is what you're seeing in the 69 Magnum that I like is that I'm moving away from having such a specialized 45 that takes, you know, moon clips and kind of strays away from the regular Smith & Wesson style, which is also what this J-frame is doing as well. And by the way, guys, I got snap caps in all these. I've been working on the trigger. Nice and easy to tell with these A-zooms. But yeah, so we've got this nice 45 caliber, which is a beaut to shoot. Oh my goodness, you can hit, you know, steel plates at 100 yards with it all day long. You can pre-pack your moon clips, which you can't do with nice Mr. Hefty round here. But I would say that the reason why I got this and where I think it shines is if you're looking for a regular Smith & Wesson that's, you know, hey look, you can polish up the damn thing with some, you know, basic mother's polish, and it'll look good. You know, maybe I'll talk about that. Maybe I'll post a video. Let me know if you guys want. I'll polish up the second half, post a nice video, show you how to do it. It's pretty easy. It just takes a shit ton long time. But yeah, so I had the other two models here. I really couldn't polish those, couldn't do anything special. I was actually super hesitant to even mess with the triggers, and I'll get into that in a second. But I was super hesitant to mess with even cleaning the trigger of this guy because it's my concealed carry weapon. I was very hesitant about what those screws were. You know, everyone says don't mess with this stuff. I tend to disagree, and I like to mess with everything. I take apart my arrows all the time. But anyway, by getting this gun, I didn't have to spend 1,000 plus models on, or 1,000 plus messing, you know, on a revolver and then messing up a performance center, which I'm not that impressed with. Nor did I really want to mess with this concealed carry one. But then after I took this apart, I found it's pretty easy. You remove this screw, this screw, this screw, and all these Smith & Wessons. Stuff starts coming right out. This plate comes off. Look it up on YouTube. Super easy. I'll probably do a review on it and show you guys what to do, where to clean. Because what I found is, once you cleaned it, and that's part 2 of this review, after I shot this and I took it back from the range, I cleaned the inside of it, the trigger pull's light. It's actually as nice as a performance center here. I mean, I used to bitch to my buddies who had like some of these old rare I guess Colts, yeah, Colt Python. I think my buddy's got, and it's got a beautiful, nice trigger pull on it. And I always bitched that my performance center didn't have that. Well, guess what? I found out it was a cleaning problem. You got to clean these guys. They never tell you to do that. They don't want you to do that. And actually, it's a pain in the ass to do it. But I guess what I'm getting at is, after my first initial range session with this guy, I took it back. I pulled off this plate, I cleaned it, I popped on new grips, I polished it, and now the trigger pull is beautiful. It's very easy to pull through in double action, and also you have a good single action on it too. I mean, nothing that I have to complain about. Again, we're checking this guy. We've got our nice snap caps in here. We've got our moon clip of them, which is kind of cool. You know, kind of pull these out, flop them in. All right, so we got a moon clip. I mean, this is a performance center, so they do tune the trigger on this right there. You can see they put a stop for exactly, and they adjust it. So okay, big deal. It's right there. But I would say after I've cleaned all these guys, and after I've put, I'd say maybe about 500 rounds through this, I'd say maybe like 500 rounds through this as well. I really try to get down some rounds with this. But I'm maybe 200, 250 rounds with the 69 Combat Magnum. I would say if you clean this guy, it works as well as a performance center. Again, guys, really easy. Just get in there, clean all the gunk, shoot a little bit. You'll definitely feel it be gritty and oily and all that. It'll be obvious when you put it all back together. And I use some clamps to like clamp, put pressure, and then really screw those back in to get the proper torque. Make sure to have the right screwdriver bits. Don't use any of these fucking Chinesium bits that are gonna bend on you. You end up with a scratch. So I use some nice like German Weha bits. Like, look for this sort of company. Wow, yeah, save you from scratching all your guns. Anyway, yeah, I tightened everything down. Everything's shooting well. The only complaint I guess I have now with it is that it's destroying me right there with that palm swell. So I'm going to sand that down a little bit here on the right hand side. Other than that, I think you have a pretty good grip. It stands up well. For concealed carry, I don't think this is going to be that sort of roll gun. I believe that's going to stay my concealed carry. That's going to stay my fun shooting pistol. And this is going to be my bring in the woods gun for Virginia hunting and camping and backpacking and I don't know why I really want to bring it on my bike. But anyway, I like Glock 20s. I feel like this is a little bit more manageable for shoving into a backpack, maybe in a holster. I've got holsters for these other guys. I feel like I might try to get something similar. Maybe something in between and both these are Galco. I really like them. Both these are really nice leather holsters. I feel like I'll try to grab something like this for this guy. But let me zoom in here a little bit. Take a little bit better look at what we got here. So again, we've got really nice stainless steel barrel, 2.75 inches. Nice engravings, no shitty tool marks. Everything looks pretty nice. I was able to pull out the cylinder here when I polished, so everything stays looking nice. So let me know what you guys want to see about this. You know, I'm gonna maybe post up some videos shooting in a little bit. I've been shooting some of this federal ammo out of it. It's nice and hot. It's beating the shit out of my hands. I love it. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any of these. You know how it's been working for you. So far, I've been liking it. Definitely a nice gun. I'll probably be sticking with Smith & Wessons. It has a kick, but if it's accurate, if it works as a woods gun, I've had these bears like walk an inch away from me, you know, from my tent at night. So hopefully something like this is a little bit easier to manipulate inside of a tent than a Glock with a bear outside, you know, just pull out of a holster, have a little bit, you know, better peace of mind here. Plus, hell, you know, got some cool places to shoot in Virginia. This will definitely be a beaut to shoot. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll look down below and answer any questions you guys have about it. This is a new gun for 2017, so it's kind of cool, and I figure it'd be an interesting gun to bring out, get a review on. There's not much of it out on the YouTubes yet. So you guys have a good one. Peace.